Okay, so today we're going to be discussing how to create a thesis. So before we start, let's just discuss what a thesis is. A thesis is a statement that you make in your paper that explains the point you're going to make and how you're going to make that point. So can anyone tell me why you need a thesis? Ruby?
To focus the paper.
Okay, you need a thesis to focus the paper. And why do you need to focus the paper?
Because it can be confusing for readers if you try to talk about too much or too little.
Okay, so we have to make sure to not talk about too much or too little. Anything else? Harrison?
And to let the reader know what the paper is about.
Okay, so we need to let the reader know what the paper is about, so the reader is certain. So when the reader is reading, they have a good perspective in which to look at the paper. Alright, so now that we know why we need a thesis, where do you think it would be good to put a thesis, given that we need it to focus the reader and the writer? Isaac? At the end of the introduction. Okay, why do you think so?
Because the introduction introduces the reader to what the paper is going to be about. So at the end, you summarize what you're talking about and let them know what you're making.
That's very good. Okay, so it's good to focus it early on. That's a really good point. Alright, so now that we know why we need a thesis, what do you guys think makes a good thesis? Harrison?
It's arguable.
Okay, argue. Why is it important that a thesis is arguable?
Because like if it's an obvious point, perhaps like a thesis can show like nuance.
Okay.
Like other sides of the argument they can see before.
Okay, so complexity. Anything else? Ruby?
It has to be specific.
Okay, it has to be specific. So that goes with the focus side. Now that we know two really important parts of what makes a good thesis, let's try one out. Okay, so let's say I give you guys the thesis, President Obama is president because he won in a centuries-old electoral system. Is that a good thesis? Okay, why isn't that a good thesis?
Because there's no positive effect between the two, whereas he was president because he won the election.
Okay, so what you're saying is because President Obama, so what you're saying is those two things happen not due to each other?
Yeah.
Okay, so what you're saying is it's an obvious thesis, that there's nothing arguable.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we try to do when we try to check a thesis is we check whether it's arguable and specific. It's a checklist. So we know that that thesis isn't arguable, so it's not a good thesis. Now what about the thesis, winter is bad because it's cold? Isaac, can you tell me about that?
It's probably not specific enough.
Okay, it's not specific enough. Could you make it specific?
Winter is bad because it's cold, and therefore we can't do anything outside.
Okay, fair enough. And therefore we can't do anything outside. That's Isaac's significance, that's his specificity. Okay, so we know to make a good thesis, we need to check whether a thesis is arguable and it's specific. And if it's both, we have our claim and we've shown the reader how we're going to prove it. And now we can make a chant out of this so we know how to make a thesis when we're writing our papers from memory. Alright class, so I'm going to read line by line and you're going to follow. To proceed with a thesis, you need specificity.
Proceed with the thesis, you need specificity.
But remember that an argument is key.
But remember that an argument is key.
To make your point and explain why.
To make your point and explain why.
With the reader, you need to create an interesting tie.
With the reader, you need to create an interesting tie.
Okay, read it along with me now. To proceed with the thesis, you need specificity, but remember that an argument is key. To make your point and explain why. With the reader, you need to create an interesting tie. Alright, thanks class.